Welcome back, Constantine, the Foolosopher here. Today we're going to talk about leaving America. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said before, the state in America has gone crazy, not only the pricing, but the people lately, the last 5 years since the COVID. And I would say that was the cracks were there like years ahead. The division, the political division, the anger, the madness, the depression. I've seen like kids up to down to 5-year-old going to therapy on medication because the parents don't do their job right. It's not a nice environment. The teachers don't know what they're doing. I mean, it's not their fault. I'm sure they have like limited budgets or and there's a lot of laws. You cannot say this, you cannot do that. So nobody can give the real advice. They have to all play games. Like go by the book. And the problem is that, the new generation has gone completely, lost. It's, they're, in shambles. It's a place, it would take decades to repair. Hello? So, there's a lot of, before I left, I remember, the amount of anger, on the highway, the driving maniacs. I feel like autobahn on crack. It was this, people cutting you off, flickering. I mean, I was part of that too. I'm not saying that, but it just got out of whack. I mean, completely anger, the homelessness. I mean, I remember in my neighborhood in Chinatown, next to the opera, which is a pretty good area. I mean, the opera is nice and it's a block away from a nice area. There used to be one homeless person every month, walking by, maybe, sleep maybe on the side of the road every 2 months. In the neighborhood. Now it becomes people have tents, they move in. For months they move in, people yelling, people carry knives, mad, homeless, crazy people. You don't even know, the guy is yelling every day, scaring everybody, you're scared to go out. Yeah, things really changed, and it's not for the better, everything. Add on top of that, pricing going complete bananas, everything is double. Housing 10 times more since the 90s, I mean, some areas I'm probably 20. It's mind blowing, While the salaries maybe doubled since then, since the 90s. No, it's a really sad state. It was a beautiful place when I went there. I mean, it was not perfect because after Rodney King, there was those riots. People were, separating groups. There was a group of Asians, blacks, Middle Eastern, whatever, everybody in their own Mexicans, Latinos, sorry. Whatever group they were, and I was like, what the hell? When I came to America, I was like, what the hell is going on? And unfortunately, this left slowly, but today it feels like worse than that. It's like completely out of whack. I mean, it's next level. And unfortunately, this goes to the main point of my video, which is, I think it's time to, pack and go. I mean, the same happened to Greece. I used to be there, when I was a kid, and I went to study in France in '90. Because the state of Greece was, like I said yesterday, it was like everything, the inflation completely destroyed everything, and the quality, of the Greeks, everybody mad, everybody, loud, and the driving there, forget about it. In the '80s, end of '80s, forget it. It was just a mad place to be, mad people, angry. You go to the bank, they're like, oh, I'll come back later, fuck off, kind of just angry. I mean, it's not like this in America. I don't want to say at the bank because they don't want to lose a job, but at the end of the day, it's just rude, and unless, anyway, everybody's, bitter, and, I mean, you can sense in my energy, I'm bringing this here to, I'm fresh here a few months, so it takes time to, recover from this insanity for 30 years. But, it's time, I think, to everybody to consider, I would say, I mean, I haven't been, but I've seen many videos of people who moved to Asia, very happy. Many people who move to East Europe or South America, those places, it would take some work, you can't just go there, show up with, you have to save some money, you have to have a little plan, it's not hard. If you need help, I can help you, feel free to call me, whatever, I'll put a number, or, if you want any advice, put a comment, whatever. I'll try to help out with my limited knowledge, but it's all like, work in progress, you have to just keep going. Look at this, look what we can get, peace and quiet, in the magical place. No stress. doing your videos, nobody harass you. Everybody here is very smiling in the Philippines. The nice people on earth, I would say. Very happy, you know. Very poor, very simple. Life is, you know, put some savings on the side, you know, make a little plan, you know, a couple of years, put on the side, and get out, you know, just try it, test the waters. I mean, there's nothing to lose, you know. Life is too short. You want to be, you know, there and, you know, suffocating with people, it's going to only get worse. Prices are going to go only up, no matter who the president of America is, you know, because forget about this political division, or it's Trump's fault, it's Biden's fault. I mean, they're all clowns, you know, and, you know, and there's no, like, they're not magicians, they cannot come up with a solution. So this is something, you know, culturally, something is off. Has been off for years. Parents don't know what they're doing, you know, because they have too much stress, they work too hard. There's no values, there's no family connection, there's nothing, you know, divorces, lawsuits. I mean, I had a dog walker who sued because, you know, she put a toy between, or like I think a bone between the two pit bulls. I'm like, what do you expect, you know, and that's your job, I mean, you know, I gave instructions how to, you know, feed them, you know, and she did a mistake and she sued and she almost like was going to be kicked out of my house. Anyway, thank God the owner didn't find out and my insurance took over. I think she got paid $200,000. Some, you know, some like punk there, you know, hired by a company. She even sued, I think, her company too. Anyway, the point is that it's a disaster. People sue each other, you know, hate each other. It's just about me, and you know, and just, you know, there's no, like, you know, there's no, if you want, like, you know, to grow, you know, like spiritually, or, you know, I mean, you're gonna get cancer there, you're gonna get, you know, disease, you know. The food quality is like, forget about that one, you know. Everything's on chemicals. Look at this, everything here is fresh. There's fresh coconut up here, there's fresh bananas. I mean, you feel like it's a second life, you know what I'm saying? A second hope. I'm a guy who lived, look, I lived many years in Greece, many years in France, many years in America. I can tell you, look, the West unfortunately has gone down, and it would take 25 years to fix this, if, and maybe, slowly, you know, gradually. And the thing is that the crash hasn't happened yet, the major one, you know. Can't wait for that part. We're at the edge, you know, of a big disaster, you know, happening soon. It's really the eye coming, I mean, forget about it. Everything overpriced. I mean, the amount of homelessness, I mean, like I said earlier, it's out of control. You don't feel safe. You know, you walk in the streets, you're scared like you're gonna be like attacked with a guy with a knife. I mean, you know, I had the guy who stopped my tires out of the blue. You know, just mad people, just crazy. You park in the wrong place. You don't feel safe. You don't feel like, you know, welcome. It's all about money. You know, all day money. Okay, to make money is good. You know, make money, opportunity is great. I would tell that. And I would also thank America for, when I went there, I had the luck to become a better person. Like, it made me quit smoking, you know, because people smoke less there. And I also pay attention, you know, to, you know, like, you know, the information there, you know, like the conveniences, I use them in my benefit too. I became vegan, you know, I learned a lot of things about, you know, be involved, you know, be active. So there, you know, there are good things still going. It's just, lately, you know, things have gone completely off the rails. And I really don't know, you know, what to tell people who live there. I mean, I know most people have families, thank God. My family is spread all over the world. So I'm used to also travel, you know, like change country. It's no big deal for me. It's not easy. I'm not 12 or 20, but I think, you know, it's a good to consider and do a test. I really recommend, you know, and feel free to, like I said, contact me if I can help you, you know, to show you like what I did, my planning, you know. It's nothing complicated. I can just guide you and maybe you can make your own, you know, custom package for yourself. But it's all preparation, you know, and experiments for a better, you know, better tomorrow. You know, you don't want to be like every day like stressed about, you know, until death, you know, about work. America, I think 2 out of 3 people live paycheck to paycheck. And you know, and of course the medical there, forget it. If you have a medical emergency, your life is over. You know, your credit is destroyed probably. You have to go bankrupt. I mean, it could be 100,000. You know, if you're like something average. You know, I mean, maybe 50. I mean, I don't know. The price have gone completely bananas. If it's something major, you look in the millions. It's insane. I mean, the housing is insane. The food quality, like I said, is terrible. I mean, it's average at best. The pricing for what you get is no thank you. The water quality, like I said, Malibu yesterday, I said Santa Monica, you don't want to dive in there. I mean, come on. I mean, you know, son, I mean, come on. You want to get disease or something? It's really sad. It used to be a beautiful place, and I think, just like everywhere, I'm scared when people here to come here. I would say, like, here, for example, you have to be careful. Like when you come here, it's not the same. You have to adjust your mentality. You have to calm down. You can't just flicker people or express your feelings. It's not really democratic like that, where we can say whatever we want, whatever you express yourself. You have to be more respectful. And everywhere you're gonna go, even the Greece, you have to be careful. Like it's different environments. It's kind of going to Sicily. You don't want to mess with the locals. So you just have to adjust. But the value you get is tenfold. And I highly recommend for people to open their eyes, and don't have fear. Of course, everything is new, and it will take time to get accustomed. But life is very short to just drag, and just keep doing the same over and over. It doesn't work. Matter of fact, it gets only worse. Like for example, in America right now, let's say you save like 100,000, right, the last 5 years. Well, guess what? Right now, that 100,000 that you saved for 5 years, let's say, is worth 50,000, and it's going to be worth 30,000. Everything goes so high, and so you wasted time pretty much, unless you have the 1% that makes big stock market, big has big money and big accounts and a lot of like a lot of apartments. And then you're in good shape, or but most people they will never buy a house. Some people I heard now like they use Klarna like payments to Coachella. I heard like 60 or 70% use like monthly payments to go to buy a ticket. I mean, I think the minimum was like $500 for the ticket. I'm like, people, I mean, the mentality is completely retarded. No offense. And I'm trying to be nice. Retarded as you're behind, you're lagging, something's off with you. Is the mentality of this country has gone completely full R. People are nice, they're nice, but they learn the wrong way. They learn. I have to protect my dog because. Sorry, Luna. He's a nice dog, but the dogs don't like her. So yeah, so you want to take a break from this environment. You want to try something different, something more healthy. I highly recommend you to look, in Eastern Europe, like I said, South America, or Central maybe. Yeah, Asia. I mean, I'm sure there's more. There's probably other countries beautiful, but I would say stay away from Canada, USA, Europe, like France. Unfortunately, England. I mean, don't even think about it. I mean, I went one day there and I was like, oh my God, it was complete disaster. I was like, oh my good Lord. I mean, it's out of whack. I mean, I don't know about Greece, because as a Greek, I don't have a very good experience in the 80s, but maybe now I get better, I don't know, with the Europeans. But, I would say, unfortunately there too, there's a lot of divorces, you're going to deal with a lot of angry people, and attitude. So, yeah, I hope things change, but it would take time. It would take decades for America, which I have first-hand experience for 30 years there. It's really sad, because I really used to enjoy, spending the day going out, like I said before. I used to, simple things, like just go out, hike and get some, lunch somewhere, peaceful, and it felt good. It felt good, that you had good connections, good people. And then suddenly, after 2005, I would say things were slowly cracking. 2008 was the economy, and after that, it never recovered. It was just the COVID. I mean, it was like completely the nail in the coffin. And since then, everything doubled, tripled, quadrupled. I mean, it was already going, slowly upwards. I mean, to give you an idea, like when I came to America, there used to be like 99-cent deals on burgers or whatever, which I stopped eating because I became vegan in 2003. But there were 99-cent deals until I would say 2005, and then went 1.99 maybe or something like this. And now I think it's like $6.99 or $8.99. I mean, I don't even know the prices. I heard like a burger can cost up to $18 now. I mean, hey, for me it's better, my friend, because this way people eat less animals. So yeah, so I'm happy in a sense, and I think it's partially the karma of the way we treat animals. I mean, all this, I had the feeling all this was going to happen. It was a matter of time. And matter of fact, with AI, we're gonna maybe learn. That's another video I'm gonna make about AI, the treatment of animals. Our turn is gonna come. If we don't wake up on that subject too. But all this is the price we pay. We play dumb. We don't, ignore the cracks. It's like we're wounded and we just ignore. It's like a cancer. You ignore it, and then guess what? Boom, boom, and boom. You understand? And right now we have a lot of booms, and the party's not over yet, and the heart attack is not yet happening. We're in a coma right now situation. or like, you know, how do you call it, some strokes. But there's gonna be a big, you know, a big change happening soon, and I don't want to be there in this environment of disaster. I'm sorry to make all things so dark, but yeah, like I said, you know, the value is gone, and you know, unfortunately, we take 2 generations minimum to fix this insanity. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave your comments. I mean, contact me, and you know, I'll be glad to give you my assistance. And see you in the next video. And say hello to Luna. How was your walk? We'll have to shoot it twice this video because my camera, I think, ran out of space, so she's completely exhausted now. See you soon.